U.S. markets are open.
Hey guys, good morning. It's Dave Santarelli from Santarelli Trading Exchange, BreakingChartAlerts.com. Hope everyone's having a great day here. I'm thinking about, so Powell's on right now, and, it's given a little bit of a pullback here today with his saying that they're going to have to increase the unemployment rates and everything here over the next few months. So markets are pulling back a little bit with that. Also, unemployment numbers came out this morning. They were a little bit higher than expected. So markets pulling back a little bit here. We got a 56% gain on our target trade. Thinking about possibly selling this, locking in that profit there. She's pulling back quite a bit, so let's see what she's going for there. Let me see here.
I mentioned a couple of times, our concern about fully discretionary systems, and one of the biggest of those concerns is
Let's
that in
see
the
here. Let me
face
put
of
this on it today. 1 minute.
economic dislocations, we've been running what really amount to unprecedented experiments. I would cite the
835 by 880 for those 165s that we picked up yesterday.
and then doubling it again during the pandemic.
First off, those of you that are
It was right before the pandemic.
those of you on YouTube here that were not with us the afternoon yesterday, I have something quite nice to share with you here. Let me pull it up. Target's getting a little climb off the lows there. Let's see if it can hold and break that 170 here today.
2008 crisis.
Let's see here. Okay, let me share this here. Yeah, I'll look for the other one. Here was our target trade right here. There we go. Target's getting a nice pop there too now. So guys, on YouTube, this is the trade that we made yesterday on our live stream. Up $7,100 on the trade, 64.55% gain on that trade that we made yesterday on the live stream there. Unbelievable gain on that target trade. $7,100, 65% gain just about. And let's see those contracts now. Bid 730, ask of 815 there. Target, let's see if Target could get that climb there. Yeah, definitely Papa Powell there, Tony.
S&P futures falling here after the open. Dow Jones down 224 points. S&P 500.
All right, I'm out of that trade at 740.
Nasdaq Composite.
Out of the trade at 740. Locked in a nice profit on that trade. Out at 740. Oh, well, wait, let me get the other one up there. That shows. Perfect. Here we go. So we were in that trade at 550, out at 740. 7.4, divide that by 5.5. We made a 34.55% gain on that.
DIXY, Shift Pixie halted on a circuit breaker. INM, InMed halted on a circuit breaker.
And I was kind of horrified at the
Pixie
implications of this prospect.
There's at 2634 the intraday high
Since then, the Fed has
on Pop Index for Yankee.
digital currencies
INM halted at $11.16,
in these
up
conferences.
26%.
Fed has stepped into this
In
arena
November,
with a
Michael.
discussion paper on a central bank digital currency and several speeches from Fed governors. Our team has reviewed the more than 2,000 comments that the Fed's central bank digital currency discussion paper received, and we find that about 2/3 of them are concerned or outright opposed to the idea.
There we go. $3,800 profit, 34.55% gain. Nice one locked in there, guys. Let me share that here.
Write that letter to the editor 7 years ago. How can these serious concerns about democracy and freedom be reconciled with a digital currency?
Let me start by saying that we haven't made any decisions at all about whether.
There goes Target getting a climb now.
And we continue to evaluate the pros and cons and look at the technical questions and the policy questions, and we expect that evaluation process is going to take some time, appropriately so. Secondly, I'll say that we do not intend to proceed with issuance of a CBDC without clear support from both the executive branch and from Congress, ideally in the form of a specific authorizing law. So we did get, it was very gratifying.
There we go, guys, and there it is right there. There's that target trade that we just closed out here. You guys can see that's the one that we picked up yesterday at 9:48 in the morning. Just closed that 9:33 here, and we closed that out for 740. We were in at 550. That's a 34.55% gain overnight there, and a profit of $3,800. Look for another one. Oh, and there goes Target breaking out now. Oh, those 165s now are going for what? Oh, they're right up there, going for 770 again.
Very, very important. And we all see what's happening with the
600 bucks more right there.
and the issues with privacy. We would not want a world in which the government sees in real time.
There she goes. Target's breaking out again. 170. I should pick up this week's expo on Target now. Look for that quick big pop again. Let's see. 170 calls are going for about $1.73.
We're attentive to striking a balance, of course, between law enforcement and privacy protection, but that can be managed in the same way that it's currently.
Today's Thursday. That's the only thing that worries me about that. The 170 calls for next week are only 350. I wouldn't mind getting into that. I want to see how the market reacts, though. But that's probably a good trade setup right there, guys. If we look for a re-entry into Target here, I'd be looking at the 170 strike calls for next Friday's expo.
First lawsuit filed against the U.S. Treasury Department for its decision to sanction cryptocurrency Tornado Cash.
Twitter's still on the climb today.
In a panic or severe stress situation and fostering runs. So look,
Coinbase funding lawsuit brought by
Snapchat's up nicely today. You see Snap? Oh no, it was down this morning.
Technological challenges, public policy trade-offs and technological challenges. That's what we're doing. The idea is that this will lead all of us to a better understanding of those trade-offs and prepare the way for hopefully a well-informed decision on whether and when to issue a dollar central bank digital currency. That's what we think our role is, and we think that the Fed is the right institution to do that. We can proceed without, we're a nonpartisan institution, non-political institution that we can do these things, and I hope present conclusions and analysis that will support an intelligent decision when it's time to make that.
Well, this is something we'll definitely be having a lot to say on in the future, as well, really from the perspective of privacy concerns.
PIXY, Shift Pixie, resuming. Upper India X-Ray Yankee.
I do want to ask you about cryptocurrency, but first I should probably.
P781, that's PIXY.
Who photobombed Janet Yellen 5 years ago by holding up a Buy Bitcoin sign behind her during her Humphrey Hawkins testimony earlier this year became my son-in-law. So that's a little bit of the disclaimer I'm going to put out there. But without debating the merits of future cryptocurrency.
INM, InMed, resuming.
Bro, why
trading.
is that image there
Michael.
so damn blurry? Look at that.
Which one?
Cato stands for nothing.
See all that down here?
Shares moving lower.
Look at that one
$3.08,
compared to
14.5%.
this one here. You see that
I
one?
don't know why it's looking like that. I use your image.
And also, we want to see private market innovation.
There's a blue apron
sure why it
spiking
does
to
that.
the high,
Let me see how it looks on the phone.
$7.22.
I think what the problem is.
PIXY
I think we
shifted
gotta save the
halted
image
again
before we put it
on
in.
the
I do.
circuit
I have a
breaker.
copy.
Yeah. Okay.
2430 moving
Oh yeah,
lower
it does
now.
look like that on there.
That's Papa India X-ray.
ExxonMobil Chevron starting to break out again. I was thinking about doing an energy trade on one of those. I was also last night when I was doing some research.
Fed's Powell says
I was looking at SO here. I think that's gonna have a big breakout. SO NEE.
Public interest for
Which one do I want though? Let's see. SO dividend.
Says it's
Ooh, that one pays a nice dividend, 3.42%. Let's see when their ex-dividend date. So I like the energy sector right now. Let's see, SO. SO. Let's see here. October, November.
Could be an argument that that's still during the development phase and that it's something that we could see emerge. But
Yes.
that isn't that.
Dividends were just in August. We just missed it.
Members who offer that perspective vigorously, as you suggest. So, but stablecoins is a different thing, and the question is, are there forms of private money like stablecoins which can play a role in our financial system, which would
Powell says something that purports to be money
that we don't want to stand in the way of appropriate
or to be regulated.
innovation, particularly including digital innovation. But we think that something like that, which is purporting to be money, would need to be appropriately regulated. And I hear that wide agreement on that, by the way, from a lot of the stablecoin companies now are seeing that as part of getting to a place where they are a legitimate part of the financial system. So I think you need regulation. If people are going to think something is money, then it needs to actually have the qualities of money. And if it doesn't, then you don't want. I don't think you want to take money and make it into just another consumer product where sometimes it fails and sometimes it's good. You want it to be guaranteed to be good. If the public's going to look at it,
Bitcoin futures popping
you
here.
want to have clarity, transparency.
Futures popping, nice. Let's see.
Liquid, high quality assets and things like that. That's all. So
SPY wants to hold that 390 so bad here. I've been watching SPY on a daily chart right here. It's holding that 390. I'm waiting for it to break out here. Breaks above that 400, I'm going to be aggressive with some calls. Right now, we're side by side. That's why we're kind of laid back there with the swing trades. We're looking for good movers here like we saw on Target yesterday. Took advantage of that. Now we're going to be looking to take advantage of a breakout here if we get one above 400. Or if we break below that 390, we'll be looking for another swing. I'm doing some scans right now on the top left screen here. If you guys could see my image here, I'm looking for the top energy dividend stocks here of 2022.
Having an impact on the development of these innovations and really thwarting what could be very promising and useful innovation.
No, and I agree with that. We don't want to be in that place. We want to be in favor of innovation, but also appropriate regulation.
And ultimately, some of the people who end up driving, the regulation might be, as you mentioned, legislation. The end product may not meet the objectives.
China Petroleum and Chemical Corp. They pay a 20% a year dividend.
Oh wow.
I know, yeah, let's take a look at it. But it's a penny stock. It's 47 cents. SNPMF.
Particularly during a period of.
Oh, that one's already, yeah, I won't go near that. Watch if I put that volume on there. There's nothing. Look at, there's no volume from like 2020 until 2022. Very little. 11,000 shares a day.
OIFG list.
Let's see this other one here. This one pays a pretty good dividend. TTYP, yeah. TTYP.
Lyft getting a
That's
pop
another
here.
one.
Same thing.
Lyft getting
Some
a
chatter,
pop.
unconfirmed chatter circulating.
Confirmed chatter.
DVN.
DVN. Didn't Skyjack get into that one?
Yes. He was all over that one.
He was. He was on top of it. Oh, that one's pulling back sharply though. Oh, holding 68.84 there. That might be a nice entry there for a quick 75.
resumes.
Sky, are you still in that Devon here?
So
Let's see. I'd probably go out to November with this one.
Before I joined the Fed, but
At least October monthly.
my position needs to be that fiscal
Wow,
policy
they're
is
going
the
for
responsibility of Congress and
insane
the
amount of money there.
Wouldn't be appropriate for me to comment
Wow.
too much on specific policy proposals or laws. More to the point, with inflation running so far above 2%.
Qs are breaking out big time there. Look at Qs and SPY. All right, what's our target doing? Probably running like crazy, right? Yep, almost at 171 now. She's still going.
And it really hasn't been for some time.
All right, let's go down the watch list here quick, see what we want to do. Amazon's still holding that 50.
Sooner is better than later. And I guess I'll just leave it at that.
You guys want to look for a swing trade, or you guys want to do some day trading? I knew they're going to say day trade, but I think I got to make something here. Let's see, September 16th.
I actually mentioned
Because I care about your opinion, Jerry.
the Jackson Hole.
I'm going to be day trading for sure here. I'm watching Qs and SPY over the right. I really think that JP Morgan can get back up to about 119, 120. I really do, Jerry. I definitely do. But priorities, you know, now look at the market pulling back. See that? Good thing we didn't get into that day trade, right? Look at how quick she pulled back there. Qs at least. Let's see. Boom, right back. So if she breaks above that 397 on SPY, I'd probably do a day trade there. And probably target that 400. But with what Powell's talking about here right now, you know, the markets are going to remain choppy. So just give it a little bit of time.
Lesson is, to me, is that the structure of the economy is ever changing and highly complex. And, you know, we see that today around the world. Many nations are experiencing the first high inflation in 40 years, all around the world. Different countries have different composition and backstories, but it's really...
John says he's got shares of SO. Skyjack's not in DVN. He says Tesla's on the run there. Let's see Tesla. AMD's looking good too there.
For example, if
AMD's coming off of lows as well from the daily.
we're going to see more frequent, larger, and more persistent supply shocks for whatever reason, that will have critical and difficult implications for the conduct.
Oh, Snapchat's at 12 bucks. Look at Snap.
Oh my goodness.
This is not
Oh my God, Snap's ready for a big breakout. Let's see how much we're up. I never look at my account because I don't like looking at numbers. That just distracts you. In my opinion, I look at charts. Nice, look at that.
Oh yeah.
How much are we up right here on Snap today? Days gain.
$5,300.
5,300 bucks. I'll take that. I think she's gonna run to that 13 pretty quick though, and then hopefully see that 16 again. I got 10,000 shares. I should add another 10,000. Up 5% on the day on Snap. She's going to continue that breakout. That next resistance is right around that $13 there. 1260 up to 1275-ish. SPY's looking good there. Let's see if she's going to start that breakout. I'm going to get a trade ready to go here, day trade on SPY. If we get that little bit of a run there.
Shares of Lyft continues
398.
up about 4.5%.
398 call. Going for $2.
On social media.
Okay, that would be a
And,
market order.
shares, responding to
Now,
that
if she
now.
breaks, so
Right
I'm
now,
looking
that's
at the
15,
SPY September
90
9th,
cents,
398 strike
$15.51.
call. It's going for 205 by 207 right now, 203 by 205. I'm waiting until it's breaking above that red 50-day simple moving average and getting a body above that 397. That's what I'm waiting for entry on this trade. So if you wanted to take a look, oh man, there goes JP Morgan breaking out. I should have jumped in there. I'm going to look for a good swing trade on JPM here in a sec once I see what SPY does. SPY is consolidating between that 10 and 50-day simple moving average right now. So she starts dropping below that, you know, that yellow 10-day right there. I'm going to look at JPM quick for a swing.
Because I care about the future of our country and the future, of course, of liberty and freedom in America.
Or Dylan, you want to keep an eye on SPY for me? Let me know if she breaks 397. I'm gonna look at JPM chart quick here. I still have that order ready to go for SPY, but I want to see what JPM's doing. There we go. New highs of the day on JP Morgan. I really think the momentum here has shifted for JPM. I think this is one of those ones you could see that 120 to 125 pretty quick here. I like that September 16th or September 23rd expo on JPM.
Shares hitting $690, up $2. Up, $88 right now on that positive news.
Man, the September 23rd 120 strike call on JP Morgan only $1.46, which means if she gets to about 123 there, you got 100% gain.
November, $690
And you got
behind.
two weeks and a day to do it.
15%.
That's
And
not bad.
ULN Automotive resuming
What's
at
SPY
about
doing there?
15% on that acquisition news. That's Micro Uniform in November.
All right, let's see.
DIXY, Shift Pixie resuming, shares pulling back.
Want to see a break above that red 50-day simple moving average. Show a momentum shift and climb here.
PH,
We're only down about 0.22% on SPY for the day.
Higher, 37.58.
Man, Snapchat's up 7% now, 12.22. She's going in for that $13. I think SPY is going to continue to climb here today. If we could break that 397, this would be a nice entry. It's going to be about what? So at like 215, I have 30 contracts, and so it'll be about a $6,500 trade. There we go. I'm going to click review order, get it ready. I'm going to hit place order here in a sec. Okay, I'm placing order. I'm in for 219. And this might be held overnight, depending on what happens here.
Yes, and as relates to any kind of monetary policy implications, it was mostly a reiteration of the message from Jackson Hole, which is to convey a sense of urgency about the job of restraining inflation. At one point he said the clock is ticking, by which he means the longer you allow inflation to remain above the targeted level, that unanchors consumer inflation expectations, and they feel as if that's the moment where you've lost some longer-term control. I don't think that's a new one, but it's the fact that he keeps hammering on this idea. Today, after yesterday, there was some reporting out of the Wall Street Journal suggesting that they are leaning toward the larger considered hike in September, 75 basis points. The market basically is pricing that in at this point, so it seems as if that's now roughly kind of in harmony with what the Fed is currently thinking. And he did point again to labor force participation as being this crucial swing factor in trying to...
Alrighty, guys, we are in that trade. We are in the SPY September 9th, 398 strike call at 219 there.
And, who knows, maybe on that score, asking people to consider working for the Fed is trying to get people back in the labor.
She didn't break that 397 yet, so like right off the bat, you're like, didn't follow the trade plan. Should have waited for that 397 break, but I feel confident here. It looks like we're going to get a nice climb. Let's see this trade here.
The ECB press conference, Minister Lagarde also making comments as well after obviously a 75 basis point rise in rates over there.
Yeah, the timing of Lagarde, this Cato appearance, the Nick Timmerose piece in the Journal, David, all of that.
JWN Nordstrom executive says rational to believe that in 2023 can see company getting back to 2019 promotional levels. That's Julia Pisky, November.
Whether or not we're in a new period of structural inflation because of supply chain. But Mike, it did sound like it was an effort to push back on the question, why are you feeling so hawkish when expectations have not become on board?
There we go. We are in the green on that trade.
Inflation runs above target. The more likely that acts as a time bomb. People get used to the idea of rising prices. They demand more in paychecks, and that feeds itself.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had a real chance here to talk about the broader market, so let's do that now. Bring in Bob Pisani to get his reaction as well, and just bring us up to date on the market action so far. Bob.
Well, not a lot of surprises with Powell. I mean, he reiterated that history strongly cautions against premature loosening of monetary policy, because that's what he said last time. And take a look at the market here. What happened is,
Look at that. I already have 480 bucks on that trade there. It's beautiful.
for example, a little bit weaker. I think it's ARC Fund a little bit weaker.
Look
But
at
they
that.
turned around in the
What's she still breaking?
Look at that.
She's still breaking out.
Running.
Oh man, up $800. Oh man, a freaking jelly just went down my windpipe. That piece of onion. She's ready for a good run there. She is ready for a good run.
McCormick, not of course in the Dow, but interesting comments there about cutting their sales and profit outlook, suggesting that there's some pushback against the recent price increases. That goes to these old
She's going.
margins that are out there. So that's a big story today. As for the markets where we are now here, well, the debate is peak inflation, peak.
Come on, get another nice green candle here, baby.
But certainly her Powell, we're not at peak Fed hawkishness. Powell again reiterating history strongly cautions against premature loosening of monetary policy. Unfortunately, anything that signals we're past peak Fed hawkishness will be good for growth stocks, but the market doesn't believe we're there yet. And we don't believe
Nordstrom execs say says rational to believe that 2023 can see company getting back to 2019 promotional levels. That's big. That's good.
that is one of the worst readings in the 35-year history.
What the hell is this big red candle from? I don't see any news.
Of what it normally is. So you get a sense of how bearish the retail investors are right now here. Finally, I just want to make a point. Gary Gensler was speaking this morning on crypto. That's been in the news as well. Again, he's saying the SEC has a lot of jurisdiction here. He's saying most crypto tokens are securities. They come under the SEC. Crypto exchanges, broker-dealers, lending platforms should come in and register with the SEC. Some stable coins may be securities. Carl, this is going to be met with a lot of hostility in the crypto community. They don't want Gensler. They want the CFTC to be regulating them. But Gensler is, again, making a big play. That's the SEC that should play a major part in crypto regulation. Back to you.
Yeah, interesting to see that needle moving forward a little bit, Bob. Thanks. When we come back this morning, former Fed Vice Chair Roger Ferguson with some reaction to Chair Powell's remarks. And as we go to break, take a look at how treasuries are.
Look at JP Morgan breaking out. See, that's why, Jerry, I like listening to my instincts. Should have went with JP Morgan. Look at that breakout there. I think that's really going to hit that 122 next week. Thinking about doing something with that. Oh, man, did you see Snap now? Up over 7% on Snap.
That's crazy.
Yo, look at this.
Ukraine's
How much am I up on
Zelensky says
Snap right
Lincoln
now?
visit to Kyiv on Thursday is an important signal.
8,050.
$8,050. Ooh, our SPY trade's back in the green. SPY. Come on, SPY, get that breakout here. Let's see it hold that 10, break that 397.50. Snap is on fire here. That freaking daily chart here. She might be hitting 14 to 15 bucks really soon. Look at the size of that candle. They got a nice restructuring plan just coming off that double bottom there. You know, I mean, that's a nice looking chart.
Shares of Neurocrine Biosciences spiking to a high of 108.49 now 107.
It held that 10 bucks pretty well. Remember back in 2019 when she was about $4?
November Bravo, India Extra, NDIX.
Now, what we knew back then. Back then, what we know now.
Oh, I know, right?
If you could go back in time, what's the one play that you would play?
If I could go back in time,
Yeah.
I'd probably do Tesla leaps way back when.
That would be it. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
I was such a baby to buy and hold Tesla though, because that thing is so volatile. It made my freaking cores shake, you know.
Back in the green.
What's back in the
2.28,
green?
SPY trade.
Oh, the SPY trade. Watch the SPY.
2.23, 2.25.
All of us are better off when we're around people with different
SPY.
perspectives. And the only way we speak truth to power is
I think we're getting the bounce off that 390, 391 level. I think we
What's
might
she at?
see a little more of that.
Our job is to bring you the facts.
Oh, what a day.
Context and with perspective. Not just, well, here's what happened.
What a day.
Here's what it means. Insight into your world.
The facts, the truth, the news with Shepard Smith. Weeknight 7 Eastern.
Go SPY, go. What do you think? SPY 400 today?
I could see it. Let me check the daily real quick. I think you can come back up and at least touch that. Yeah, that 10 period.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I like this tomorrow's expo here for this one. I'd love to have my target set at 400 and just not freaking look at the damn thing until then. But if I'm sitting here, you know what's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
happen.
so hard to
You
do.
know what's gonna happen. As soon as I'm up,
ADP,
you know,
third,
nothing really
and
hits me. You know, like $100, $500, $800. You know, I don't give a damn about that.
Papa.
Yeah, once it starts getting into the thousands, then it's like, okay, do I want to lock that in?
Right.
APDN, Applied DNA Sciences, and Cornell University Veterinary Medicine announced research
Hertz is
collaboration.
on the climb. Look at that. Just like that, you get a candle like that. Like, what the hell? Some big consolidation there. Or we hit the top. I don't think we hit the top for the day.
I don't think so.
Good morning and welcome to another hour of Squawk on the Street. I'm David
Oh,
Fairley.
Snap is breaking out. Look at Snap.
7.2%, up 82 cents.
Alpha Papa Delta November.
Markets right now, not much. Nasdaq had been in positive
Come on,
territory
Spy.
a couple of ticks ago, but
See that breakout.
let's call it almost flat for the broader averages.
My question I got to ask myself about that SPY trade now is, do I want to hold on to it overnight, or do I want to cut that now for minimal losses? It's the first candle below the 10, 20, 50-day simple moving average since 9:42 this morning, you know? Or really since 9:36.
Also warning, quote, demand trends remain difficult. That stock down 60% year to date, including a 9% drop this morning. We will end
She's
with
in that
GameStop
consolidation
rallying
zone.
despite posting
Yeah, but it's the first candles below the 10, 20, and 50. So usually when that happens, that's your first signs of a momentum shift lower there.
FTX, the stock up 2.5%.
Well, Fed Chair Jerome
A body below that 396.50 on SPY there. That's going to be pretty devastating for that pullback, because that next support on the day there is about 394. So she's got room to pull back.
The longer that inflation remains well above,
But I'm up nicely here today, you know, so I'm not going to do anything but watch. That Target trade yesterday. Man, what's Target doing now? Once I get done with a trade, I usually don't look at it again. Let's see, TGT. She pulled back. That was a good exit.
Our Vice Chairman and a CNBC contributor as well, Roger Ferguson. Roger, good to have you. Good morning to you. First off, just give me your reaction to that interview, so to speak.
See how SPY broke below that 396.50?
A couple of reactions. One, thanks for having me on. The first reaction was, as I think you've already indicated, the markets have recognized, it was largely on script and on message. We iterated very much the same message that he gave Jackson Hole, and he ended with, the 3 lesson instead. He ended with the Jackson Hole plus a few more. So I think the Fed is clearly signaling that they will stay at it and that they take responsibility for the 2% target and expect over time to use their tools to get us back there.
Yeah, he also made mention of the fact that the structure of economies is ever changing and highly complex, talking sort of about
ExxonMobil,
challenges
nice
being
pop
faced
there
right
today.
now.
Oxy's so see, ExxonMobil's up about 0.84%. Oxy's probably going to be doing the same thing. If we look at a 3-month daily here, Oxy, and then ExxonMobil, I think Oxy's got some room to run here. I think that's going to hold that red 50-day simple moving average as well, just like ExxonMobil, and I think it's going to get that climb now. Love to get an energy trade on Oxy. See, she's starting to climb now again. She's almost green on the day. I think I'm going to do an Oxy trade for next week. What do you think? Yeah. I was going to get SO, pick that up, but it just paid the dividends, so. Let's see, next week on Oxy, the 66 strike calls are only going for about $1.75. Oh man, that is good. If she gets up to 66 today, so I like, so I'll link this here just so I can see what this option chain looks like. Are you listening to me? Okay, so what I'm going to do is link 1 and link 1. And what I'm going to do is I want to see what this was worth when it hit that 66 at 9.55. So at 9.55, this was worth 205. It's at $1.75 now. So 2.05, divide that by 1.75. That's a quick 17% gain there if we wanted to jump in, and just target even that little bit right there. I don't think that'd be a bad idea.
Well, I think it fits in two ways. One that they've talked about, which is, keep inflation expectations contained.
She might test that 64.50 again though, and that might be the low. So I want to wait until I see that low. Target just got a nice green candle there.
Based on market measures, moved down a little bit, both the 5 and the 10-year.
SO, let's see what that one's doing here.
More or less, having earlier on been much higher than that, and so that's a positive sign for the Fed. Having said that, what we know about how individuals make inflation expectations is less about these things called the core that the Fed is targeting, and much more about so-called headlines.
So when does that DVN pay those dividends?
Being prominent there.
Let's take a look here, because that was a nice looking one there too. See how I waited on that Oxy? That's still pulling back.
By most measures, well contained. It has moved.
What did I just say, DVN?
And so I think he's right to say,
Oh, the dividends on DVN are coming up tomorrow.
Deputy Treasury Secretary Adeyemo asked about complementary U.S. sanctions on Russia. Says U.S. will put in place price cap by December 5th. That from Yahoo.
Hey, Roger,
Interview.
I'm curious, when you think back to how they framed the spike in inflation last year, initially at least, as transitory, if we do get used cars and gasoline giving us possibly negative month-on-month CPI prints, are they also going to frame this now decline?
The ex-dividend day was on the 9th.
I don't think they're going to frame it as transitory. I think what they're looking for is clear and convincing evidence.
So we could pick that up still right now. Today's what, the 8th?
In some of those more volatile elements, they'll observe it as a positive move, but not necessarily clear and convincing evidence.
We could pick that up now.
And I think that's going to be their challenge.
DVN.
Which is to say, yes, it's moved, generally speaking, in the direction that we like. But as I said, they're not going to slow down in their resolve.
What do you think?
And they
Which
obviously
one?
want to
DVN?
Yeah.
start mistakes in the past. I think that stop-start issue is very much on their mind. So I do believe they're going to be maybe more.
It's gonna pay $1.55 dividend. I'm thinking about just picking up like 2,000 shares. That'd be a $3,100 dividend. And then I'd probably target 74, 75 bucks there.
I like that one.
The other thing, it gets a little bit
Well, I mean, on the daily, just
had
have it cross down on the RSI and the MACD.
Let's see what it did after its last ex-dividend date, 6:10.
It just tanked.
But I wonder, that got some pushback this morning, at least from some
Yeah,
viewers.
see how much
Is
that
it
pulled
worth
back
talking
there?
about?
That's what worries me. She pulls back down to 50 bucks. Yeah, I don't know about that. That one's pretty volatile. I like it long term there, but you trade that one, it's like SO's starting to break out there. You trade that one, you're going on a roller coaster ride like Tesla. JP Morgan, man, she's breaking out big time. We got to do a JP Morgan trade. I'm jumping into JP Morgan for next week there. Yeah, that's gonna happen by next week. So I'm gonna look at that 120 on JP Morgan for next week.
I think he was also not embracing the fact that it's gotten back to where it wants to be, and certainly he does not see labor markets as coming back into balance. So I think he's moved very much away from monetary arrogance and focused on real well measures such as inflation expectation, and importantly in this juncture, labor market imbalances, which I
What
think
is going on with this damn computer?
Roger, it being September, and a lot of folks are flagging the fact that now the Fed is allowing its balance sheet to
There
shrink.
are reports the Queen has died, but it's not confirmed yet.
The Queen has died?
That's what John P. just said.
Send out the app alert.
That's not confirmed just yet.
Yeah, but it's no, just fucking send it out.
This time around for this process, even though last time it did create some market hiccups. Do you think that that's safe to assume the Fed has sort of figured out procedurally how this might go more smoothly?
Well, I think they're feeling confident that they've been very clear in their signaling and they've laid out their plans. And I think the last time around with Chairman Bernanke, sort of nearly musing about having a QT, it created the so-called tantrum. I'm sorry. But no, I think
Are you hitting this or something?
It's on me.
because they've signaled that it's all clear. In part because we have to recognize but importantly the RMBS market. And as interest rates go up, they become, a seller, not a buyer over time, and that I think has the chance of creating some instability. So I'd say so far so good because they've been very clear on the plan, but the execution is still yet to come. And I would say I'm still a little cautious that there may be
SHPH halted
maybe a bumpy ride.
Is Facebook
in
down or
the
something?
Q2
No.
as it picks up.
at the highs 43.80, Sandy Hotel, Papa
Roger,
Hotel.
thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Roger Ferguson.
Still to come this morning, we're going to talk some weakness in Chinese tech. Now on pace for
Where
the
did
third
John
day
hear
of the
that?
week in four.
He posted it
First,
on
check
the
out
group
shares of
meet.
AMD down more than 40% for the year, but Stifel today initiating coverage on that name with a buy, target 122. They say, quote, AMD continues to execute well on a product roadmap that has enabled share gains in client computing and server markets. We're back in a moment. Stay with us.
Your kitten depends on you. And you can depend on Blue for the nutrition growing kittens need. All Blue kitten foods start with real meat and are made with the ingredients kittens need to grow up healthy and strong. Like taurine to support healthy heart and eye development, and DHA to support cognitive development. Help give your new best friend a
SO's
healthy
breaking
pet
out
self.
nicely there.
And see why so many pet parents choose Blue.
Thinking about doing something there, or do I want the JPM? See, this computer here, I don't know what's going on. No internet. IMAX, man. I want to get in that JP Morgan trade.
COVID-19, some people get it, and some people can get it bad. And for those who do get it bad, it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, asthma.
All right, let's see here. JPM, here we go. Contracts. So if I do about 7,500, divide that by, let's see here. The 120s for September 16th are $1.05. September 23rd are $1.73. Do we want to go with the September 23rd or the September 16th? I think that's ready for a continued breakout now. I'll go with September 16th. Do I want the 119? 119's about... I'm going to pick up the 119 strike.
Advil Dual Action fights pain two ways. Advil targets pain at the source, and the same benefit blocks pain symptoms. Advil Dual Action.
All right, I'm in at $1.47 on that. I just picked up about a $10,000 trade on JP Morgan for next week's expo. It's a swing trade.
Breakfast, the most important deal of the day. Great morning start at Wawa.
Look at all that toasty, melty majesty.
I don't think all streamers are created equal. I do not believe all streamers that are in it today will survive.
SLVM, Silvamo, November 45 call sweep, Sandy Lima, Victor, Michael.
Let's see.
You
10,
know, I can tell you, I
13.
believe that momentum is going to continue to thrive. They can have some issues now, but I think they're not going away. Clearly, I'm a big believer in Disney. They've got the IP. They've already proven they can be successful in that business.
That was former Disney chairman and CEO Bob Iger on the second day of the Code Conference. For more on streaming and the media landscape, well, who else do you want to hear from but our friend Michael Nathanson over at MoffettNathanson, Chris founding partner. You know, first off, Black, just give me your thoughts on what you just heard from Iger.
You know, I love Bob Iger. He's right. You know, I miss Bob Iger in a leadership role, putting this in perspective. Bob is right. There's going to be winners and losers. It's going to happen sooner than people think, I believe.
Michael, right now, from a stock market perspective, it doesn't feel like there's anything.
BNTC, Benetech, Pharma resuming trade now. Bravo November Tango Charlie.
what you're looking
shares at 87 cents, up 48%.
on Disney right now. But even today, it just looks ugly. Obviously, Warner Brothers Discovery down another 3%.
Yesterday, the company reported that it got letter from the NASDAQ that they did not meet the minimum bid price requirement.
In terms of the stocks,
That's Bravo November Tango Charlie.
David, we have a buy on Fox because Fox is not in the streaming business. We sell on Paramount because we think they're not going to be able to scale. What can you say positively is that we're hopefully closer to the end of this war, where people will start acting more rationally, right? But you and I have been saying this for a while. It's about margins, profitability, return on capital. It's a really tough time to be in this business right now.
Yeah, it's funny because the journal reporting on Netflix cutting back on things like T-shirts and mugs and things of that nature. But I do wonder, Michael, when are we going to start to see the real cutbacks, which is in how much we're spending on content? When does this so-called
That looks ready for a nice breakout on JP Morgan there.
But what are your thoughts?
Okay, so we need the families to get together. We need the Roberts family, the Redstone family, and the Malone family.
Here is that new trade that we just made, guys. It is the JP Morgan September 16th 119 strike call, and we are in at $1.47. I picked up 70 contracts, so it's about a $10,400-ish trade. 70 contracts. Now here's the thing: we picked up that 119, right? So if she gets up to that 122 target, that means these are worth $3. That's over 100% gain. 3 divide that by 1.47. It's 104.08% gain. She just gets up to that 122. Now, she gets up to that 125, then these are worth $6. 6 divide that by 1.48 or 1.47. 6 divide that by 1.47. That's a 308% gain. If she got up to that 125. It's for next week. Usually when it has that big breakout, it'll break out quick. You see, like right here, had a nice little run there.
2.5%.
Like look back here when it started that breakout above that 1020 right here, back on May 23rd. Look at what it did for the next few days there. I mean, it literally went from, it went from 120 all the way up to 133 there in the matter of a week.
Right, Carl's got a question for you, but I would point out Warner Brothers.
So it's definitely within range for that 122 to that 125. I like that trade setup, guys. Love it. We picked up, this is the trade that we picked up here, September 16th, 119 call, and we picked that up for $1.47. So that's the trade that we got right there on JP Morgan. Are we still in that SPY call?
Yeah.
Oh man, look at SPY breaking out now.
UBER Uber, the September.
Let me go check out our SPY trade.
Uniform Bravo Echo Romeo, UBER.
Oh, nice. We got a nice gain on both already. Oh man, look at them both breaking out beautifully. Beautiful. Love it.
He said that the movie business had, in his words, permanent scars from the pandemic. Probably wouldn't go back to pre-pandemic levels. I mean, it's little wonder he said he doesn't miss his job, and that most of Hollywood is in a great deal of anxiety.
Well, Carl, it's insane. We've been saying for a long time we think we're going to lose another 20 to 30 million.
Oh, look at JP Morgan going. She's already at $1.59, $1.62. There she goes. Look at JP Morgan going there. We're already up. Oh man, look at SPY. We're up $1,300 on SPY. We're up $1,000 on JP Morgan. Oh, yes, get that stuff out. Oh, look at JP Morgan going. Yeah.
Very nice.
I gotta show them this. Alrighty, guys. So here is.
Because there's still a cohort of folks who want to see the movies in theater with a paper, right? So I guess they
Look at SPY breaking out. Jeez, dude.
She's still breaking out. Oh man, let me go refresh. Let me refresh her. Oh my God, we're up $1,500 on SPY. SPY.
It's going to be really challenging. We're in the middle of it, and I don't see
in a great mood today. It must be that jelly. That onion jelly. It must raise my sugar up. I got that. You guys know that, what is it called? Stonewall or something? Like they have this roasted garlic onion jam. You know, it's like $10 for a freaking thing of it, but it is the best. Love that. Look at JP Morgan going.
All right, now I can do this stuff.
You got the app alert out? Nice, nice. Look at her go. Oh, man.
From that point as opposed to being, number 4 or 5 screen trying to build scale.
Yeah, Mike, to your point, we separate at the stock call, which we're neutral on, as David said in the beginning, versus positioning, right? Netflix could be very damaging if they grow advertising.
Spy's going to hit that 400 today, I think. Look at Q's breaking out. I think we're going to see a nice run. There goes JP Morgan again. Just broke 118 on JP Morgan.
I was able to get into this one today.
What, JP Morgan?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Nicely done.
Wasn't gonna miss that one today.
She's still going. Oh, look at her breaking.
Nice.
Yeah, Spy's pulling back, though. That little dirty thing there.
I think we'll be good. We're just positive for the day. It just touched the top of the resistance from
Yeah, I think so, too.
I think we're just doing a little pullback to continue on.
Yeah. I agree.
We're making lower lows on the 1 minute. We're making higher highs on the 1 minute.
I definitely
The
concur.
angle of the moving averages are pointing skyward.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
5 minute, we're getting across on the MACD and RSI. That looks great.
I just hate when you're watching that minute chart and then it gets a candle or two like that, on Spy.
It's hard to.
JP Morgan's solid. That one's going to be a nice gain for us. That one's going to be a big one. Part of me is like, yeah, do I want to close it out now? I'm up $2,000. Do I want to close it now or hold on to it? But I'll hold on to it.
I do believe that.
I do
JP
believe
Morgan?
JP Morgan is Spy.
No, leave the JP Morgan for now. Don't close out of it yet. Just sent the alert.
Yeah.
That's bro. New swing trade open. New swing trade closed. New swing trade open.
New swing trade open. New swing trade closed. That is funny. Dylan's like, don't close it out yet. I just sent it out. That's funny. Yeah, that's going to continue to run. I won't close JP Morgan out, but I will close Spy out soon. I'm waiting for her to climb. There she goes. There goes Q's climbing again. Q's are in the green now. Spy's in the green for the day. Markets are in the green now overall. So I'm thinking we're going to see that reversal today and get that nice climb, continued climb here. Let's see if it happens. Skyjack said Snapchat's now up over 8%. Look at Snap, 1240. How much am I up on my Snap right now?
9,300.
Yep. $9,287.
I gave you the 13.
Yeah, don't give me nothing.
BA Boeing, the government of Poland announced that Boeing's AH-64 Apache has been selected for KRUK
It's so nice. I mean,
program.
look at how much I'm up here today.
That's Bravo Alpha.
24-hour allergy relief. Find more ways to seize the day.
So many new things to protect in life. Little care helps to keep things alright. Nationwide is on your side.
Another busy day? Of course it is. You're a CIO in 2022, but you're covered with security that protects your company everywhere, on-premise, in the cloud, and right here too. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Coming up, natural gas storage. At
See,
10:30.
Spy is going to hold that 20
And
there.
54 BCF.
back at CNBC headquarters with the latest hush-up.
is
Hi, Carl.
expected.
Good morning. We got word just about 3 hours ago that the Queen's doctors were concerned for their health, as they put it. The 96-year-old is currently at Balmoral Castle, where she spends most of her summers. She's not hospitalized, but Buckingham Palace released this statement. Following further evaluation this morning, the Queen's doctors are concerned for Her Majesty's health and have recommended she remain under medical supervision. The Queen remains comfortable at Balmoral, end quote. That statement, remains comfortable at Balmoral, is a break from anything we frankly ever heard of the Queen from the palace. In recent months, the palace has said really as little as possible, so this comfortable language is seen as highly significant. Further, we learn that the heir to the throne, Prince Charles, is already there at the castle with his mother, the Queen, and Prince William is on the way. Further, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, are headed to Scotland as well. They were already in England, according to their spokesperson, and are en route now. Just yesterday, Queen Elizabeth pulled out of a virtual meeting after her doctor advised her that she needed rest, according to the palace. And just the day before, on Tuesday, the Queen had welcomed the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss. Liz Truss says this morning, or this afternoon early in London, the whole country is deeply concerned. Notes were passed in Parliament early afternoon London time, the leaders of the parties receiving word of the Queen's health. And notably, BBC One, in the last 90 minutes or so,
NEPT, Neptune Wellness, tweeting that product is available at CVS.
For the BBC One, and needless to say, there's concern in London, across Great
November
Britain,
Echo Papa
across the
Tango.
kingdom, and around the world this hour. Our own Wilfred Frost is there monitoring
Ars
the
Remedies,
situation.
product
We
now
have
available at
live
CVS
correspondents
locations
outside all the
and
places of note.
CVS.com.
As those in
There goes JP Morgan and SPY breaking out again.
receive good news at some
Looking
point.
good.
There's popping on that news.
Only the headline that the Queen's doctors are concerned for her health. And she's
Up over 9,000 right now, unrealized. Plus that 3,800. That SO's breaking out nicely. Look at that SO, Southern Company. That energy stock there I've been looking at. Snap up 8.5% now. Oh my God. Nice gains already. What'd you get in JP Morgan at?
3 cents lower than you, $1.44.
3 cents lower?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So you're already up about 10%.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, man, look at that. It said this morning, because I sent that out on that thing, it was Snapchat looking to break above the 50. Look at that nice break above that 50. Then we break this high right here, we can run all the way back to 14 easily.
Snap is ready for a big breakout. She's going to run. There's going to be a day that you're going to see Snap up like 15, 20%. It's coming. You remember you weren't here yesterday when we were talking about consolidation, that market maker, he's like, oh, when I worked on the floor, we watched that consolidation, what you call a consolidation. He said a word for it himself. And, he's like, oh, something's happening when you see that consolidation. And then you just see that big freaking candle breaking out of that consolidation box. And then you see that run. We were talking about that. That was funny. Look at SO now. SO highs of the day. There goes Southern Company taking off now. Now finally green on the day on SO. Energy stocks are in the green. If you guys are looking for a good energy stock, I'm telling you that SO is a nice one there.
$5.37.
Snapchat nearing 9% gains on the day. $12.44 a share.
Advil targets pain at the source of inflammation. When pain comes for you, come back with Advil. Bring on today with the next generation in global secure networking for Comcast business.
Look at that SO going, guys. I was thinking about doing an energy trade here, too. That SO is looking good. That's a 3-month daily chart right here. If you look at the daily, look at that breakout there. New highs of the day. Nice run there.
Build of 54 BCF.
Turning now to Apple this morning, CEO Tim Cook referenced the growing competition
On
in the
natural
smartphone
gas.
market at this code panel last night. Take a listen.
That's in line with estimates.
We actually have fierce competitors. We're in the most competitive industry there probably is, the smartphone market. We're not the market leader in terms of market share. Samsung is. And if you watch football or any other thing on your weekends, you will see their ads everywhere. And so there's and of course there's lots of other people in smartphone business as well, including Google and Huawei and Oppo and Vivo and Xiaomi. And so all of these folks are spending tons of money around the world.
The company also revealed the latest in their product lineup at yesterday's launch event in Cupertino. Let's bring in Bank of America's Wamsi Mohan, has a 185 target and a buy rating on the stock. Wamsi, it's great to have you. So much discussion yesterday.
U.S. bank profits climbed 7.8% on higher interest income.
Oh, share that one. That's a good one. There goes J.P. Morgan. There goes SPY. Big breakout on SPY.
Right now, $8.
Are you in the SPY trade too?
I had closed mine out for a $40 win.
Nice. Yo, look at how much I'm up on Snap now. How much?
10. Wow, 10,800.
That is beautiful right there. Look at SPY going. All right, I got to share this gains with them in there.
JP
Let's
Morgan
see.
highs of the day. Right there at the highs of the day. On a break.
At this point in time, to raise pricing consistent with all the competitors that Cook mentioned in the previous
Now, let me just
would mean that they're sort of
do
more
it like
lockstep
this.
with everywhere else. And here, Apple is focused on install base and market share. And so what we really see here is Apple making a push now towards broadening that install base, over which it's ultimately going to monetize its services. So I think the key over here at yesterday's event is that Apple is now trying to broaden the portfolio both on the phone side, on the watch side, appealing to ultra users and frankly, some of the users that have just not been able to use lower end versions of the watch, for example. So it's about building that ecosystem, building those products that interface so well with each other, and then driving services off of that.
Right. So as we start tracking lead times on Friday, what's going to be important to watch? What are your expectations? What are you going to be looking for, at least over the weekend?
Yeah, I think that, when you look at this particular cycle, they have 9 Saturdays in the quarter. Just the Plus is what's going to launch a little bit later. Everything else is going to launch on time. And we've heard from the company that they've said, look, that supply chain issues are alleviating. They were less last quarter than what they had expected. They still expect some supply chain issues to break out.
I know, it looks ready for another nice run. There goes JP Morgan, new highs of the day on JPM. Nice breakout here, guys. Another nice breakout. Oh, yes. Yes.
So we expect a more normal sort of cadence around pre-orders where you expect to see that, lead times typically stretch out a little bit starting from day one or the weekend. They've stopped doing this now about releasing how many millions of phones that they sold. But
Oh, my God. Look at that breakout. Look at that breakout.
would get sold within September given the amount of days that they have.
Man, what a climb here. Should lock him in. Well, not JP Morgan. JP Morgan, I'd hold.
I think SPY's going to continue.
I think it's going to continue, too.
Sort of done its job outperforming the S&P by 12% or so in the last 12 months. I just wonder if this launch and this product rollout and just the general upgrade rhythm that Apple is in right now, whether there's anything that's going to change, let's say next fiscal year's earnings numbers or volume numbers or something that that the market
There goes SPY
kind of
again.
aware of, that they're going to have to filter into the valuation.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think that when we think
I just sold that SPY trade 275. 275, guys, out of that SPY trade. Yes. That was a nice day trade right there.
If you think about a mix shift where product revenues can be flat and services can grow, 10-15%.
Yes.
Significant gross margin lever, which is what I think is really not factored into valuation. Over time, we've seen Apple's gross margins gravitate from the mid to high 30s now into the 40+.
That was a 26% gain.
Upside potential. So it's all about maintaining those hardware margins, which they can do because they're doing vertical integration, they're doing so much of their own in-house chip development, and they're doing so much more work with the supply chain. All of those to keep those product margins stable while you're getting upward tension from the services margins. And so as that mix sort of gravitates more and more towards services, that's where the multiple has an opportunity to really expand. And that's what is not really factored into most models. I mean, I think if you look at most street models, they'll have gross margins flat to down, and there is a potential for gross margins to actually go up. Or Apple could take the approach of reinvesting those gross profit dollars like in this instance, right, by not raising prices, effectively a price cut in the face of inflation. And when you think about it in those terms, you can gain market share and get better top line. So these are the two things I think that are trade-offs that the street hasn't fully factored into models and into valuation. That's where really the upside lies.
I think we can definitely look for another SPY day trade now.
Obviously was their decision, and I know it's a marketing decision, but it is a choice.
Hold on there, Grasshopper.
Not right this second, but it just looks perfect.
It does look good. She's going to 400. There she goes again. Look at SO going there, too. What a breakout in SO.
PCSI, Consensus Cloud.
Did you post that in the trade room? Guys, here we go. Here it is, that trade that we just made a little bit ago.
Says earnings release.
That we were in 952 out at 1034 there. We just made a 26% gain on that live here for a profit of $1,680.
Full year 2022 guidance. Charlie, Sandy, India.
There goes JP Morgan at new highs of the day on JP Morgan. She's going to 120 today, JP Morgan. Yeah, everything's breaking out beautifully. Just locked in that nice gain on that. Beautiful profits here today, team. Really nice job here. Nicely done. Alrighty, guys. Guys on YouTube, that's going to do it for you. If you guys want to come join us, go to breakingchartalerts.com and join one of the packages there. If you guys like this video, want me to continue doing these, please give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like for me, and I'd appreciate that. Have a great day. Take care. God bless.